Okay, so today I've had my coffee, I've had a croissant, I'm all fueled up and ready to go, and today's mission is to get to a ghost town here in Northern California, Sonoma County, called Wingo. It would normally take about an hour to get there from San Francisco, but the route I'm going to take is going to be more like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. You can see we're going to start down here in San Francisco, work our way up through Marin, Mount Tam, up to right about here, which you can see is kind of the north end of the San Francisco Bay. Looking forward to it, so let's go. Okay, here we are at the iconic Golden Gate Bridge lookout point. Nice to see that some of the tourists are starting to come back. Figured I'd just pause here quickly, give you a view of the bridge. It is a little foggy today, and that's partially what makes San Francisco so unique. Get back on the road. Now in beautiful Petaluma. So I'm actually pretty close to this place, Wingo. It's a lot warmer here than it was in San Francisco. I'm actually recording this on my phone now because I hadn't realized how short-lived GoPro batteries are. So I'll have to try to stitch this together later. I'll try to recharge my GoPro while I'm having some lunch. Just looking for a place to have some lunch. It's a very quaint little town. I'm sure there'll be loads of options. Okay, got myself some lunch. I'm sitting here in this nice little park here in Petaluma. What I'm going to be eating today is a spinach and feta pie. And I got it because I remember spinach and feta pies being popular in South Africa. to live. So let's see how this one compares. Ooh-ha. Good. Okay, guess it's this far and no further. The road seems to terminate here in at this winery. I'm surrounded by vineyards, and I guess I'm going on foot from here. I seem to have arrived at somewhere called the Larson Family Winery. I'm hoping they're going to be able to tell me how to get to Wingo. Let's go find out. Hi.
Hi.
I'm actually trying to get to Wingo.
Wingo.
Do you know where that is?
Yes, it's down
that way, right?
That way, yeah.
Okay.
It's a long way.
Yeah, like
Like
miles and miles.
let me get Bob. He knows
Okay.
about it.
Thank you. All right, so turns out this last little bit you have to do by foot. The road is not accessible to motorized vehicles, so I'm leaving the bike here, and I guess I'm going to start walking. Apparently it is about a 3.5 mile hike. Have some water, so that's 3.5 miles there, 3.5 miles back. I don't know, I'll see how I feel. It's a decent walk for sure. I have to get all the way back to San Francisco again after this, so we'll see. It's about 65 miles from San Francisco up here, so this is going to be a full day, but it is beautiful out here. Grapes as far as you can see, and here's the path. Start walking. So Wingo is one of California's many ghost towns. Many of them were old gold mining towns that have gone to ruin. Some of them were staging posts for people making journeys across the country. Some of them have sort of been absorbed or covered up by reservoirs that were created in California. But this one, Wingo, it was a steamship station. and it was known as Norfolk before 1879. It was created, I haven't been able to figure out exactly when the town was established, but its heyday was in the 1800s, and Wingo served as a passenger stop for ferry passengers going from Sonoma to San Francisco and back again. Around 1880, a rail line was built in this area, and Wingo was at the junction of this line as it went from Calistoga to Sonoma. Apparently it was renamed, the town was renamed to Wingo. I hope it's not too windy. By the railroad company. Nobody seems to know why. And then, of course, in 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge was opened, and Wingo started to fall by the wayside. There was no more traffic going through the town. The ferry stopped running, and it rapidly started to fall into disrepair. I'd read that there was a single resident who lived in Wingo by 1994, but I just asked the people at this winery, who said that there apparently may be a couple of people still living out there in the buildings. And of course, if you're the type of person who wants to live in Wingo, you're probably the type of person who doesn't want a lot of strangers nosing about in your backyard. So I'll be sure to be considerate. So let's see what's out there. This railroad bridge right now. This would have been this line that went up to Calistoga and Sonoma and beyond. You can imagine people back in the 1800s, early 1900s, taking the train along here, stopping off, maybe taking a carriage ride to Petaluma. But it appears to be totally deserted. Well, I was going to say that, but now that I'm looking at it, it's either a reflection or there's a light on one of these buildings behind me here. So, do I risk it? Do I go check out the buildings, see if there's anyone there? Well, I've come this far. Why not? Crazy place this is. It is desolate. It's totally flat, surrounded by these mountains in the distance here. This monolithic bridge, railway bridge, in the middle of nowhere, and these abandoned buildings. This is a ghost town, no question about it. I'll be honest, it's a little creepy. I didn't see anyone there. It did look like one of the buildings may have had somebody living in it, at least at some point fairly recently, somebody living there. But most of those buildings are very much abandoned. It's beautiful in a stark and foreboding kind of way. Wouldn't want to live here. All right, time to head back. If you're wondering what's on my head, it's my scarf that I brought with me this morning, because it was cold in San Francisco, you know, foggy, and it's pretty hot here. Not nearly as hot as it has been in California over the last couple of weeks, but it's hot, so I fashioned myself a turban out of the scarf, and I can now see clearly why the turban as an item of headgear makes complete sense. Obviously mine is improvised, and I have not tied it in a conventional way, but it's keeping the sun off my head, and it's keeping me kind of cool. All you non-bald people, this is what us baldies have to deal with. And we're back. Man, what an interesting place. It was hot, dry, dusty, a little creepy out there, but super interesting. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next time.